This is Eldad Amara. I hope you've had a really good Christmas and you have a very prosperous 2022. Right, I've got 2 videos coming up for you this week. Right, one will be on are we living in a matrix, which I think we currently are. Okay, but we shall examine that. And the other video shall be on reptilians and whether there's such things as human reptilians. Right, if you like my videos, please like, comment, subscribe and share. Mainly like and share my videos. That way, hopefully, YouTube's algorithms will show my videos to a much wider audience. So please like and share my videos. That's the only way it's going to get out to more people. Okay, thank you. Alright, is there such thing as human reptilians? The first time I ever heard about human reptilians was through a guy called David Icke. Was an ex-footballer turned to become a commentator, an author and a commentator. Okay, many years ago he was ridiculed for talking about on live TV, right, that he was a son of God. He was saying that he was the son of God, and he also talks about shape-shifting human beings, yeah, that turned into serpents. Now a lot of people scolded David Icke and they thought he was totally crazy. But was Icke really onto something? Was Icke really onto something? You know, we need to be a bit more open-minded about things, right? You cannot take another person's experiences away from them and then say that they never actually seen this or never experienced that. Okay? Each individual has their own truths. Okay? The first time I ever seen Icke on television was about 1994, and he's the first person I've ever talked about human reptilians. Alright? This is in modern day. In modern day. Was Icke really onto something? For those people who follow the Bible, who take the Bible literally, serpents are mentioned in the Bible in many places. Yeah, in Revelations, for example, yeah, and also in Genesis, such as Genesis chapter 3. Now, before I go into looking at the Bible, I've said this and I'm going to say it again. The Bible is mainly written in codes, symbols, yeah, and it's for you to be able to decipher. This book is an astrological book, yeah, mainly. It's got a lot of calligraphies and stories in the book. It's for you to be able to decipher. There's truths and fiction all mixed up together, right? For those of you who truly believe in the Bible, right, you must believe that there are such things as serpents. Because in Genesis chapter 3, right, Eve was found to be talking to a serpent. Now, in order for Eve to be able to speak to a serpent, some say it was a snake, okay, let's say a serpent, being a similar species or the same, Eve was talking to a snake. So in order for Eve to be able to talk to a snake, they'd have to be speaking the same language, or it'd have to be telepathically, right? In order for Eve to speak to a snake, right, the snake would have to have a voice box, it'd have to have a tongue, it'd have to have ears, they would have to be speaking the same language, right? Some people say that the serpent was in the form of a man. So is this true? Right, in Genesis chapter 3, let me grab this book here and just read it in part Genesis chapter 3. Okay? Because some of you people who read this Bible, you take this Bible literally. Okay? So either this is a true story, or it's not a true story, or it's written in some form of a code. And it's for you to be able to decipher it. Right, chapter 3. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Ye have God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, so she spoke to the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the trees which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Wow. Is this a true story? Did Eve actually speak to a serpent in this garden? I'm not trying to take the mickey out of you Christians, yeah? But either the story is factual, right? Or it is fictional, or it is some form of code that you need to kind of decipher. You can take the Bible literally, you can just take it as fictional. But there's some people who believe in this Bible and they take it literally. They take it literally. Alright? As I say, Eve would have to be speaking the same language as the serpent. Where did the serpent come from? Where did the serpent come from? You know, we got something which is called the R complex. That's in the brain, yeah? It's a primitive part of the brain, right at the stem of the brain, right here. Right? It's called the R complex. The R complex means reptilian complex. We were once reptiles. If you look at our hands, you can see scales in between our fingers. Yeah, you can see scales in between our fingers. We also have scales on our body. Some of us have extreme scales, right? On our body. I'm going to show you some pictures later on. Okay, more towards the end of this video. Alright, where does these extreme scales come from? Some people are born with tails. When you look at human sperm, yeah, swimming, human sperm, it looks like a tadpole. Yeah, you cannot tell the difference between a human sperm, yeah, a fish sperm, and a tadpole sperm. Okay, up until a certain period. So we have scales, we have webs in between our fingers, we have webs underneath our arms. Right? Some people are born with tails, and some people are born with 6 toes. Why is this? Why is this? Sometimes truth stares you right in the face. It stares you right in the face. Alright? There's something called an R complex, as I just said. Okay? Now, I've just done a Google search. There is the R complex. So you know that I'm not talking rubbish. There is the R complex. Can you see it? The reptilian complex is a system of the brain responsible for the most basic survival functions, such as heart rate, breathing, body temperature, orientation in space. It's important to recognize that the function of the primitive brain will take precedence over other brain activity. Over other brain activity. Right? This part of your brain will take over other parts of your brain. Right? You've got 3 different parts of your brain. You've got the frontal lobe, the middle lobe, and then the primitive brain, which is at the back. Right? Also, another thing with the R complex, right, makes a lot of human beings quite tribal. We're quite group-orientated people. The people that are ruling and controlling us on this planet, right, they know about this reptilian complex. this reptilian part of our brain, and they play on it. They play on it. When I do the film, right? When I do the video, sorry, entitled The Matrix, you shall see a bit more of what I'm talking about. And there's a tribe, right, in Mali, which is in West Africa, and they're called the Dogon tribe. The Dogon tribe. And they talk about a group, right, of serpent beings, or serpent-like beings, yeah, coming from the star constellation of Sirius. You have Sirius A, B, and C, right? These Dogon tribe, they were able to tell the star system, right, and Sirius B and Sirius A, and map out the whole star system, right, way before there was any such thing as a telescope. How did they do that? How did they do that? Hundreds of years before there was a telescope, they mapped out the stars, yeah, and the star system, yeah, and the constellation of Sirius B and also Orion. Tell me, how did they do that? How did they know about this? Right? They said that beings, right, known as the Namos, you can check it out, beings called the Namos, right, used to come up from the sea at night, right, and come and teach them. They taught them about science and astrology and all these things. These Namos were supposed to be amphibian-like beings. Amphibian-like beings. Humanoid beings. Where did they come from? They came from Sirius. You see, our constellation is full of many different types of beings. Right? We got EBEs, we got ETs, yeah? We got Shaggy and Bigfoot and all of that. But the thing is why we don't seem to hear very much about it, because the government has a good way of trying to keep things secret. But you know what? All of this is starting to come out. All of this is starting to come out now. You know what? Me and my partner, we was in India, and we sat by a bar, and this guy came over one night. I think the guy was a judge or an MP, right? He was on his own. So he came and he sat with us. He said, "Is it okay if I come and sit down with you?" So we sat there and we was having drinks with him. Okay, the guy was very interesting. We talked about politics, current affairs, social affairs, and all these kinds of things, yeah? And anyway, when the guy went to the bar, I was thinking to myself, there's something about this guy, man. Something that seemed quite right, so, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Guy come back, he sat down, had a conversation with us. He was with us for the whole night, literally. Anyway, I got up and said, we need to go now. And he says, I'm going to go myself now. Anyway, as we were walking away, right, he was walking behind us. I was thinking, that's a bit strange. He must be in the same complex as us. I'm thinking that he was in another complex, yeah, another part of the hotel. But he's walking behind us. And as we got to our door, I seen him turn off, right? And then he put his key in the door, and I seen a shadow thing behind him, yeah, in the form of a reptilian. I thought I was seeing things, man. A shadow-like thing over him in the shape of a reptilian with a big toe. And this thing was about 8 foot, 10 foot tall. It looked like this. It looked like this. See the man walking there? See the man walking? And there's a shadow behind him? This is taken from David Icke's book. Yeah? There's a man walking, and there's a reptilian-like shadow behind him. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. I saw a reptilian-like shadow behind this guy. Let me just put this book back down a minute. shadow-like reptilian behind the sky. Again, a few years later, I'm watching a friend of mine walk down the road, and I see the same shadow, but taller, reptilian-like being walking behind the person, behind my friend. I've seen it with another girlfriend of mine. When I say girlfriend, I don't mean girl as in intimate. A girlfriend, right? She left the spa and she's walking up the road, and I'm looking through the window and I can see this shadow over her, right? And it had a reptilian-like head, yeah? Like a snake-like kind of shaped head, okay? With a tail behind it, shadowing her. I don't take drugs, I don't do drugs, man. Right? I'm telling you what I saw personally myself. Right? These reptilians, some of them got heads and they look like this. This is what I saw here. Okay? Some look more like this. Just as we have different members and different groups of the human family tree, we don't all look the same. Not all reptilians look exactly the same. Okay? They don't look all exactly the same. I'm telling you, these reptilians exist. I'm going to show you a clip of film now, right? There's President Obama, yeah? And he's doing a speech. Now, President Obama, he's part of this Big Brotherhood network, alright? He's related to quite a few other presidents. But in this video, he's got two bodyguards. And this black bodyguard, he's walking along. Watch him start to shapeshift and look at his eyes. You're still not convinced? You're still not convinced? Let me show you one of your presidents. Look at his eyes. Yeah? This is one of your most recent US presidents. Okay? I want you to look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. I want you to look at his eyes and look carefully. Look good. And look at his skin starting to change shape and colour. Have a good look. Let me show you a picture of a doctor, right? A very well-known doctor in the UK, right? And he's talking about, I'm not going to mention what the actual thing is, but yeah, the thing that's going on at the moment, yeah, where some people are taking the jab, okay? Watch this guy's eyes. He's got glasses on, but watch his eyes. If you don't believe me, I don't know. Just watch this guy's eyes and tell me what you think. Leave a comment. I've not convinced you. Well, and you want more material. I know the videos aren't particularly that great in quality, right? But believe you me, reptilians exist. Humanoid reptilians. They can shapeshift, okay? So they look human and they turn back to humanoid looking reptiles. I remember being in my bath as well one night. Yeah. Relaxing, and then all of a sudden I seen this thing come up the stairs. I've never seen anything like this before, right? It had the shape of a reptilian, but it was digital. Yeah. It looked like very small pixels, right? This thing is about 8 foot tall, and it went into my bedroom, right? I didn't feel scared or alarmed or anything, right? But I'm telling you, I was not taking no drugs and I was not drinking no alcohol or anything. Right? I've seen a digitalized looking reptilian. If you want to call me some kind of nut job, I'm another David Icke, right? I don't know what I'm talking about, right? You cannot judge somebody else's truths and what they've seen, okay? There's many people in ancient days, even the Egyptians, in their pyramids and on their temple walls, yeah, have humanoid looking reptilian human beings. That's from ancient times, right? The Chinese talks about serpent human beings. The Mayans talked about serpent human beings. I've been to Chichen Itza, right? And I've been to temples and seen holy snake, yeah, statues everywhere, right? I've been to Egypt and I've been inside of temples, right? I have not just sat there and just read a book. I have the experience of actually going and searching for these things myself. Experience teaches you more than just sitting there reading some book. Now, Cain, the story of Cain and Abel, right? There's Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, okay? This is in Genesis, in your Bible, in your King James's Bible, yeah? Cain slew Abel, and then he went to Nod, and he got himself a wife. He got himself a wife. If Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel were the first human beings on the planet Earth, where did the wife come from? Oh man, this guy is totally lost it. He's gone mad. I didn't write the book. I did not write this book. For those Christians, yeah, and those religious people, you are the ones who've been reading these books, right? Either you believe the stories or you don't. Either you believe it or you don't. Where did Cain get his wife from? If Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel were the first human beings on this planet, Earth, Tar, Eridu, where did he get his wife? There's not one scholar, not one preacher, yeah, not one pope can tell you the truth about that. They always stumble on that point, and other points as well, but on that particular point there, they stumble. They can't explain it. Listen, there was beings on this planet here, Earth, before human beings came into existence. Believe you me. That's why some of us, right, we have more of the traits of certain different types of beings that have been here, yeah, such as beings that have been extremely tall, yeah, the mighty Gibor, for example, yeah, those beings, right, that fell from heaven and they came to earth and they had sex with the daughters of men, giant beings. In order for these giant beings to have sex with the daughters of men, they had to have the same anatomy. Okay? They had to have a pair of testicles, a penis, and same sort of genetic type makeup. There are still some extremely tall people walking around on this planet now. But being back in the days of Cain and Abel, you had some beings, man. They were 10, 15 foot, even taller than that. There's skeletons that have been found of them. You see, some of you want to get into this book, right? And then you believe every single thing that's in this book, but when somebody questions you, you don't like it. When someone questions you, you don't like it. You either believe in a book or you don't. And if there was giants in this book, and there's giants in the days of old, where did they come from? Where did Cain get his wife from? He went to Nod and he got himself a wife. Genesis chapter 4 verse 17. Right, to finish off this video, I'm going to show you a picture of some people with extremely scaly skin. Back in ancient times, right, beings were mixing in with us, and they still are up to today, right? But it was kind of a bit more open back in those times as compared to now, right? In prehistory, it was more open, right? You see serpents on things such as on temples and on walls and stuff like that, yeah? You see extraterrestrial. Let me quickly show you this picture as well, yeah? David Icke found this picture in Saqqara in Egypt. See it? See it? Can you see it? That serpent-like human being on the temple wall. Look. Let me also tell you this. Human beings have been mixing in, as I said, with various different species of beings from different star constellation. Extremely scaly skin that you see some people have has been caused through this mixing in. Okay, if you like my video, please like, comment, subscribe and share. Thank you. Eldad Amara.